So one time Rav Shlomo was in the airport, and the plan was to go to do a Shabbaton in this Californian, I think it was either conservative or reform synagogue. They invited him to lead services, and so he called up his hippies, his holy hippies, and they're gonna drive him from the airport straight to this to the shul for to lead davening. So things didn't go exactly the way Rav Shlomo planned. And he gets there, and they're driving, and there's a huge traffic jam. There was an accident, and he's stuck literally for hours on the road. Until a certain point, they look outside and they realize, Shabbos is coming pretty soon, and they're not going to make it there on time. So most of these hippies, they really hadn't been keeping Shabbos very long. They would have loved if Rav Shlomo could just find them a little leniency to drive on Shabbos, maybe get a Gentile to drive them to their place. But Rav Shlomo, by him, Shabbos was like the holiest of the holies. He was not going to be lenient, and he said, "I'm sorry, holy brothers and sisters, we got to go out. We got to go. Shabbos is coming. Get out of the car." So they all get out of the car, and one of them thinks, I think I recognize this street. It was Pico Street. I think if we just keep walking, we'll get there. So they take their baby carriages. Some of the women were pregnant, and they start walking, and they're walking and walking and walking, and it's already now Shabbos. And then suddenly it starts raining upon them. Raining, raining, raining. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on? But Rav Shlomo, he's just singing and telling stories, and he refuses to get down. Until at a certain point, they realize that they made a mistake. And this is not just like a 5-minute walk. This is an hours and hours walk. Like they're very far away from the reform place. And Rav Shlomo says, okay, what can you do? We're walking. And they walk, and it's raining, and they're telling stories, and Rav Shlomo refuses to get down. And at a certain point, it's like midnight, and a car comes up to them. And they're like, listen, we're from the Reform Synagogue. We're looking for you. Come, get in the car. We'll drive you to our services. And Rav Shlomo's like, oh, thank you so much, holy sister, but it's Shabbos. We can't drive on Shabbos. God forbid. Sorry. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? And they drive back. And they keep walking. And about a half hour later, another car comes. And this time, a guy drives up to them and says, Shlomo, why are you walking? What's going on? He says, don't you know, holy brother, it's Shabbos Kodesh, the holiest day of the year. We can't drive on Shabbos. And he says, wow, why? Tell me about it. And meanwhile, he's recording the entire conversation. And who was this guy? He was the local radio host. And he was recording for the Live Owl, which is this midnight thing where he, records crazy things. And he broadcast this entire conversation with Shlomo Carlebach. So they keep walking, and people hear about this. Everybody hears, oh, Shlomo's going on the Shabbos walk. And this is the 60s, so, people like getting into walks. It seemed cool. It seemed rebellious. I don't know. It seemed like something special. So soon, it's 1 a.m, and you've got tons of Gentiles, coming out and doing a Shabbos walk. And everyone's joining Shlomo on this rainy, freezing cold midnight Shabbos walk. And soon you have like hundreds of people walking together. And they got there at 4 a.m, and they got a quick kiddush. They got some hot cocoa, and they did Kabbalat Shabbat at 4 a.m. And the hippies who experienced that Shabbos said that they would never even think of breaking Shabbos after experiencing the depth that they were able to get to, just being a whole Shabbos with Rav Shlomo Carlebach, understanding that, in every situation in life, no matter how dark the Shabbos might seem, with emunah and with joy and with perseverance, you can always make Shabbos great. And when I was in the NTSY, I once had a similar, like a 3-hour walk back from the Western Wall, from the Kotel, and we walked down all the way to our hotel room, and I just remember that Shlomo story, and I just keep telling stories, keep singing, and it ended up being one of the most memorable Shabbos that I ever had. So, and also in the army, many times I had these seemingly hard Shabbases, but remembering that Shlomo story, I was always able to make Shabbos so sweet. So that's like my favorite Rav Shlomo Shabbos story.